Hi, everybody. This is Carla. I just am here to share with you a few excerpts from some of the online classes that I've been teaching. And these ones are yin yoga. Yin yoga is a lovely opportunity to slow things down, to create a little space of rest and ease while you stretch your body gently. It's so lovely to do it at home in your own comfortable space that you can create. Stick around and see some of the poses that we do. And at the end, you're going to get a link if you would be interested in joining in for a longer session. Thank you. Come forward first to tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Moving into our lunge right away here, but take a moment to just open into the back of the legs. And even here, just see if you can let that neck soften, let it relax, let the jaw relax. And then look towards the hands, stepping that left foot forward, right knee to the floor for your lovely low lunge. And again, just kind of settling in. So that hip can kind of come forward. You can ease it back a little as you just kind of find your way to that right amount of stretch for you. And we got a little time here. So soften the breath, breathe deep, and find that right level of intensity that's only like about 70, maybe 80%. Don't overdo it. Invite that sense of space, feeling connected to the feet, the left foot, and the top of the right foot. And if where you are is good, remember you can stay with this version of hands on the floor or let the hands come to the legs and you're bringing that shoulder a little more in line with the hip, but keeping the shoulders from kind of scrunching up to the ears, keep them relaxed. Adjust any position in the hip if you need. Again, a few breaths to kind of resettle into it. And welcome to stay here too, or let this right hand just kind of take a moment to relax beside you and then very slowly kind of reach it forward and then reach it up. Feel like you're creating that nice little arch with that arm as you reach the right arm up and connect to that feeling of being grounded down but lengthening up. If it becomes too much, let the arm come back down, but it's just a few more breaths here. And then let the hands drift down on either side of that left foot. We're going to slide that hip back. Take a moment to let go of that work, to let go of that effort, to take a nice little pause. Making your way back to your lunge, coming into your outer hip work, so our pigeon or our sleeping swan or your 90-90 if that one is better for you. Adjusting into your version so that weight is into outside of that left hip as you let the chest start to sink to the floor. Add a little support, maybe a block under the forehead or to stack the hands if that's nice. and encouraging the shoulders, the upper back to relax. And again, make a few little adjustments here, not overdoing because you've got a little time in the posture. Let the intensity come because we stay, because we linger, not because we're trying to push and force. You have that forehead supported, maybe a little movement in the jaw to let go of any tension there. It's just this last little bit here. See if you can just let more of the weight of your body sink into the mat, reminding ourselves that we don't have to do more. Let's start to lengthen and deepen that next breath or two. Start to shift a little of that weight first into that left hip as you slide on over to that side and just bring your right leg forward. We're going to do just a couple little windshield wipers here with the legs. So feet are mat distance. Just drop your knees over to one side and drop them on over to the other. A couple of these. And then we're going to, now I got one of these good news, bad news situations for you guys today, which is we're going to add a little shoulder stretch here. The good news is I'm planning on doing it on both sides after we do the other side of our hips. So we don't have to do it as long. Is that good news? We're going to do the one for our rotator cuff. So we don't do this one very often. And I know you guys probably know why. If it is in any way problematic, just do the left side. And then on the second time, you can just do the right side. But if you can, you're going to do both sides. You take the back of the palm of that left hand into the side belly. And then you take that elbow inside the knee. Now, my knees are wide. They are wider than my mat. And if this is good and you're feeling that rotator cuff or those shoulder muscles, you're doing it right. If you can bring the right hand in there too, you can. Sheree, you're the only one I can see that's doing it. And if this is good, and again, we don't want to overdo this. You're not trying to be too pushy with your shoulders. So if you're feeling some stretch, you're doing it right. Or you can kind of heel toe the feet in a little closer if you need more intensity. I'm not worried about too much about intensity here. I can feel this work in my shoulders. And again, the good news is we're going to do it twice. Again, that's good news. Nobody's laughing. Okay, Cherie laughed a little bit. which means we don't have to stay very long. So we're literally just about done. Maybe like 2 more breaths. All right, let's exhale, release that out. Left arm comes out first because it went in first. Right arm comes out first. I always like some nice rotation with my arms after that to kind of get things moving, or whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to come into our lovely second side for those hips. So you're going to find your way back to a nice neutral position. That can be your tabletop or your down dog. You could move through a child's pose or a couple of cat cows as well if that's lovely for you. Again, a little space in that in between. And then looking towards the hands, right foot all the way forward, left knee to the floor for your low lunge. And just starting to find your way into that right intensity for you. So weight of that hip coming forward, maybe a little play as we start to settle and sink. Feeling like that weight is not just in the front leg, that it's distributed. So there's that quality of being rooted and grounded and stable. We're always, I think in our practice, we're always trying to cultivate a little sense of space and ease. And that quality of stability is going to help to get us there. It's hard to feel spacious if you don't feel stable, if you don't feel grounded. Bring the breath into that work. Let the breath also feel like it's creating space for you. And again, if where you are is good, stay with this version. Or maybe the hands come to the leg and you're bringing that shoulder a little more in line with the hip as you move that belly away from the thigh. And just start to kind of reestablish that right level of intensity for yourself here. Establish that smooth breath. And then that left arm can just kind of hang beside you for a moment. And then that left arm reaches forward and then up. Again, sort of that natural arch that we're creating from the body to lengthen, to draw that rib cage away from the waist. Excuse me. So that you were grounded down, but we're lengthening and lifting up. Upper body lengthening, lower body grounding. Just a few breaths here. If it's a lot to have the arm lifted, just let it come back down. And then let's softly release that out. Hands on either side of the foot. Ease the hip back. A couple of good breaths here. A little pause if it's nice. Coming back first to your lunge. Heel toe that foot across the top of the mat. Shin can settle to the floor as you come into that pigeon, or maybe your 90-90, or a variation in between. And all the little adjustments as you kind of settle into this. If you can, let the head rest. And as you do, let the neck muscles relax. Feel like you can let that attention just kind of drift over the body and notice if there's places that are wanting to clench, to be rigid, to grip, and just let them soften, let them relax. That last little bit, just let go of the effort of the pose. Just let it happen. Let the breath happen. Just let yourself be. Feel like you're just lingering in the posture and not forcing that posture. And start to lengthen and deepen that next breath or two. Let a little of that weight come into the hands. Let it kind of slide over towards that right hip as you bring your back leg forward. And if it's nice, just extend those legs out in front of you and just kind of maybe give them a shake you can. Or again, a couple of these little windshield wipers. Just getting that movement into the hips if that's good today. And then feet nice and wide. Make sure they're wider. Yeah, yeah, sure. You gotta stay up for this one. We're gonna do that right side. So if you just did one side, you're just doing the right side here, or we're going for both. Back of the palm of the right hand into your side belly, into your oblique. Bring that right elbow inside the knee. Again, if it's enough, let it be enough. Otherwise, left hand is into that side belly, and that elbow comes into the knee. And if maybe you can sneak it in a little closer, maybe it's just a little less terrible than the first one. Maybe there's a little more space. Try to let the jaw relax. And again, we're not trying to overdo our shoulders. Nice big breaths, breathing into the belly and the rib cage. You should feel that breath into your hands. And let's slowly release that right arm and release the left. And let's give those shoulders a little movement there. I actually feel like I might like that one way better by doing two smaller versions than one long version. I don't know if I'll get any feedback on that, but we'll see. And then let's come into just a nice, easy, long forward fold. So, as always, I think most of you know, I like myself a wide legged forward fold. So, I'm going to do that. Legs out, nice wide shape, grabbing a bolster to support that. But if you would prefer, soles of the feet together and then coming forward that way. Or if you prefer legs together and coming forward, you can do it that way. So just a little bit of space with this. If you need a little support underneath the hips, a block or a blanket can be really lovely. And letting it not be so if you've got soles of the feet together, inch the feet away from you. You don't have to stick those legs together if you're coming into that forward fold. I'm not in my widest wide ankle forward fold. I'm just in a place that feels comfortable. And then just settling on in. Again, grabbing some support, a block or a bolster to rest the forehead on as you come in. And we're not going to overdo it because we want to feel like there's space to kind of linger with it, to let yourself soften in, relaxing the jaw. And then that feeling of your breath in your body. As you're in that forward fold, connect to the feeling of the breath in the back body. So that length of that breath along the spine as you draw the breath in, and that softness and that release right from the low back as you exhale and let go. Just on that feeling of creating space with that inhale along the spine between the vertebrae, and that softening in that area as you exhale. Take a few rounds of that. And then eventually let go of any effort in that breath or focus on that breath. Just really sink on in. Just a little longer here. And that last little bit, start to come back to that feeling of your breath. Start to come back to the feeling of your spine. And we're going to come out, and I want you to feel like you're coming out one vertebrae at a time. So that as you firm into the hands, feel like you can stack those vertebrae up as you slowly draw yourself back up. Letting the head be the last thing to come up. You can even kind of lean back a little bit and release that out. If you've got some support, just kind of slide that off to the side. If the feet are together, extend them out in front of you. If the legs are together, let them fall open. If the legs are open, bring them back together. And just kind of give those guys a little shake if that feels good to get that movement going in there. And come back to whichever forward fold you were in just for a really brief moment here, just a little bit of movement. So for me, I'm coming back to that wide angle forward fold. I just want you to bring in a side stretch. So you can reach your right arm up and over to that left side. And again, just a couple of breaths, almost like a little in between here. And then let's bring that back through to center. Let that right arm drop down as that left arm comes up and over. And again, you can be doing this with the feet together. Or if you did legs together, maybe a little twist might feel good. Bring that back up. And then again, let's bring those legs back together. Give those guys a little shake to feel like you can let that go. We're going to make our way onto our back again. Have a block handy. And again, let's take a moment to just kind of pause here. Feel that quality of that spine in its neutral position as it is supported. Let's bring the knees to the chest. And just a little rock here, side to side. It may feel good to keep the knees hip distance. Grab a hold of your block. We're gonna come into a supported bridge, which we're just gonna stay for not a super long amount of time. And then we're going to do a little bit of this movement into our low back where it's like, I like to call it figure eights in your sacrum. And I'll kind of explain that as we go. I know Cherie always loves this one. So plant your feet hip distance, get grounded, get rooted, bend the knees, lift the hips. Now, that block might be on the second highest height or the highest height, or, and this is sometimes nice, and this is how I'm going to do it tonight, is I'm going to start on the second highest height, and I'm just going to take a little bit of time there, let those shoulders relax, let my hips get heavy, let my low back soften, and then I'm going to move to that highest height after a little bit. So again, you can come to that second highest or that second highest height, middle height, and stay. You can kind of linger here for a little bit. And if you feel like you've got a little space there and you want to move to that higher height with the block, feel free to do that. And again, connect into that feeling of being grounded into the feet to lift those hips. Making sure that that sacrum, that little triangle in your low back, is supported. Try to maintain a quality of staying rooted into the feet without collapsing. So the knees are still stacked over top of the hips, but they can be relaxed. So this quality that we can be grounded, rooted, and yet soft. We don't have to be pushy or forceful. And that we can be relaxed and still present. I think that's a really great quality to cultivate. I think because some of us, sometimes we're moving so fast in our day to day that we only know on and off. And this opportunity to find rest, but to still be present, to still be grounded, rooted, and focused, even though we're relaxing. Maybe there's muscles you can start to feel softening, like the glutes or your quads. Now, if you're like me and you went to that highest height, we're going to come out through that middle height. So, reconnecting into the feet, lift the hips, turn that block to that second highest height, and let the hips resettle back down it. The pelvis, the bony structure. Take a breath or two there. If you're on that second highest height, we're all going to come out. So root into the feet, slide the block out now nice and slowly, letting that low back be the last thing to touch down. Take a little pause there. Keep the knees bent. It generally facilitates us being able to feel like that low back is closer to the floor. And I want you to connect to that feeling of your low back, that area around your sacrum. Now it's a triangle, but we're going to think about it for the purpose of this next little bit of work as if you think of it as like sort of a rectangle shape and imagine that it has four corners. And we're going to rotate through those four corners to make a figure eight shape to it. So think of the corners as top right, top right, bottom right, top left, bottom left. Firming into the feet. And we're not lifting the hips up really high. We're just sort of lifting enough that the sacrum kind of hovers. So we're going to start with that top right to the floor and then move it across towards the bottom left. And then let the top left kind of touch down. And then move that towards the bottom right. Coming back to the top right. Lower left. Top left. Bottom right, top right. And we're continuing like that. Bottom left, top left, bottom right, top right. Flowing through. Bottom left, top left, bottom right, top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right, top right. Last round here. Bottom left, top left, bottom right, top right. And then resettle back down. Take a little pause there. We're going to start to move in that opposite direction. We're going to start with the top left. Touching the floor, move to the bottom right, top right, bottom left, top left. I'm wrong. Stop that. Pause. I'm moving the wrong direction. You have to start with the bottom left. It happens. I'm human. Start with the bottom left of your sacrum. Move to the top right. Move to the bottom right. Move to the top left. Move to the bottom left. Move to the top right. Move to the bottom right. Top left. Bottom right. Top left. Sorry, top right. Bottom right. Top left. Bottom left. 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 Top right. Bottom right. Top left. Last round. Bottom left. Top right. Bottom right. Top left. Bottom left. Relax that sacrum. And again, a little bit of this fluidity into this area. It's cartilage in this area, and we want to be able to have things flow into it. So just take a little pause, and hopefully it feels like there's a little fluidity into that sacrum area. Let's draw the knees to the chest and a little rock again, side to side here. You can again keep the knees hip distance because it may feel like it gives you more space in that low back. Thanks for sticking around and enjoying this video, you guys. If you're interested in a little bit more, don't hesitate to come on over to DuvalTylerYoga.com. We've got information there on how you can join in on live classes or get more recordings for longer classes. Thanks so much for checking this out.